Coming up on the Sunday Roast, the Round 8 edition, we celebrate the winners, roast the losers, and give you all the best odds of the bet you weren't on but wish you were. Das.
Oh, Jeff, the Blues are what are we doing? We can't kick a bloody score. Oh, Jeff, the Swans got to win.
The Showies are back. They got to win. And it felt like a UFC main event. Crappy undercards just built up to Collingwood Geelong. And that was the main event. And it was fucking awesome. It delivered. It was probably game of the year. It delivered on everything.
One of the best games I've ever seen, Jeff. You know where to find us. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Like and subscribe. Give us a review. All the best bet, Jeff. There was so much money to be made this week.
So much money to be made.
Some awesome odds.
At 100K Sports, send this to someone that's never listened to us before so they can hate us as much as we hate ourselves. Good work, Das.
Come on.
And now, 100K Sports and PointsBet presents the Sunday Roast.
Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, the show that celebrates the winners and roasts the losers. This show is brought to you by PointsBet. It is a Round 8 edition. Joining me as always, Darcy Ballard. Dobe, how are you, brother?
Jev, we've had some absolute stinking games this weekend. Some games that we're probably going to fly through. And I know we go in order Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have to start off with the blockbuster, Jev. Last night's game is honestly one of the best games that I've ever seen in a mid-season. Like, the only better game I can think of. Remember when the Saints and Geelong were both 13-0 or 11-0, whatever it was, and they met at Marvel, and it was the record-breaking crowd, 52,000. That game was unbelievable. This game had everything. The stars were shining. The old dogs were barking. You had just the impossible scene where you saw at the very end of the game, the last stoppage. All I know is you only need 9 seconds to kick a goal from a stoppage, because I remember that game. It was Melbourne and Geelong, and Gary Ablett Jr. kicked a goal from the centre stoppage in 9 seconds. So as long as there's 9 seconds left, you can get a kick inside forward 50. And then they try to bug around with a free kick in the middle. It went to crisp. It could have been one of the all-time Pies just victories. But let's start off with the start of the game, Jev. How did you see it? It was 4 goals apiece at the start of the quarter. All the games were so shit this round. And we watched this first quarter this is football. These are 2 of the best teams in the comp doing it right now. I can't wait to honestly go back and rewatch this game today.
I'm so glad we've thrown all Sunday Roast rules out in the bin. We're starting with Collingwood Geelong, of course. Saturday night, this game was a banger, an absolute banger, and Geelong win by 3 points from a missed Jack Cruz shot after time. But let's go back to the start. Yeah, as you said, it was just goals at the start. They were just kicking snags. Geelong started hot, didn't they? They kicked the first 3 or something, then Pies clawed their way back in. Myercheck was clunking him out of his bloody ass. He looked like prime Myercheck again. It was good to see him. I don't know, 4 goals 5 to 4 goals 2 in a quarter of footy. It was just all happening. It was all happening. It had the big, as you said, a big fight feel. Everyone knew this was the game, and they're like, why wasn't this Friday night? Why wasn't this Thursday night? But it was just building up. A couple of undercard fights just building up to this game on the weekend. First bounce, I'll get to this a bit later, but first bounce, before the game starts, I see Oyson Mullen going to Nick Dacos, and I'm sending some text to group chats this could be a bloodbath here. Nick might give him a bloodbath, but I'll get to that in a minute. Everything about this first half, it was just an awesome game of footy, does.
I just can't believe how much impact the old boys are still having. Side ass is everywhere. I'll tell you an odd right now. Have a guess what you would think what he's for 25 touches.
Oh, he can't. Yeah, it's got to be $2.
$1.60.
Wow.
He's paying $1.60 for 25
at the age of 35. 25 isn't easy.
$1.60 for 25 touches. But this had everything. Mitch Duncan was back in the side. Is this not the biggest Mitch Duncan game? Just 20 disposals. He gets it every bloody week. He's either 18, 19, 20 or 21, Mitch Duncan.
How nice was it seeing Shannon Neal trot out there without his oven mitts on, and he finally took a clunk and kicked the first? Or what about in the first quarter, Bailey Smith's goal, which was a banger of a goal, but Danger was the only person in the 50, it looked like. He was wide open. I was watching, I'm like, even though he kicked it and it was super skillful, it was a classy goal. It's like, even after he's kicked the goal, it feels like you still kick that to danger, don't you?
Yeah.
Even though you've kicked it, it's like you still just give that to danger. That was a banger of a goal. Ollie Dempsey's mark over Steele's side bottom. It's
gun.
like Steele backed into the hanger. They saw the show, so he knew he was behind him. He had one little peep, and then he took a step backwards, and Ollie Dempsey just kneed him in the back of the head. Steele's just laughing, looking at the big screen like, fuck me. Like, why me? Just stuff like that happening in the first quarter just makes you know, like, we're in for a banger here.
So I messaged you, Jeb. I messaged you pretty early, and I said the time when Jeremy Cameron kicked 6 or 7, he had Isaac Quainer on him, and he said this on multiple media sources. He's like, I looked over my shoulder, I had Isaac Quainer on me. He's like, and I just knew I had him.
I was licking my lips.
You're lucky that he only kicked one last night, because I sent you a photo on screen after he kicked the goal. Isaac Quainer was on him. I'm like, oh boy, this could be the turnaround of the game. But Isaac, credit to you. You only end up having the one disposal. I know he wasn't on him for the entire game, but let's touch on Patrick Dangerfield. He's won a Brownlow. He's won 8 All-Australians. Jev, he's going to win a 9th All-Australian. It's one of the key. Is this Mo's? I'm going to have to go back and watch his other tape, whether it's in his Brownlow season. I can't remember him being any more dominant than this season and more impactful, because he never used to hit the scoreboard. He's crashing packs. He's a man playing Auskick sometimes.
And like, more brutal than ever. How brutal is he?
I can't believe it. I genuinely cannot.
It's like LeBron reinventing himself 7 different times in his career.
100%.
And now, even as a 40-year-old, he plays different basketball, but he's still effective and he's playing a different role. This reinvention of Pat Dangerfield, it's the most brutal, like, tough version I've ever seen of him. And he just knows he's stronger than everyone on the field. And he's taking on tackles like he's playing rugby. He's just, it is a pleasure to watch. It's the second game this year where he's decided whether it was a win or a loss for the Cats. So it might be the third or fourth, but Gather Round stands out so clearly to me. We were there against Adelaide. He just decided that game, we're winning that football game. And then last night, the fourth quarter, you put the photo on Insta. What were the stats again? He had
13 disposals and a snag.
1 goal, 1. And he did that in the forward 50 where he picked it up, broke a couple of tackles, and who'd he handball it to? Was it Dempsey for his second?
Yeah, no, I think it was Dempsey for his second. But Jev, he had 13 disposals, a goal, and 10 contested. He finished with 17 contested for the night. He had 10 contested touches in the last. He was just watching, and our group chat was going off, and we're just like, is everyone watching this?
Yeah.
But then we get down to the last bit of the game, and there's time management, and it goes in. Elliott misses the goal. You're like, oh, it's probably over. No, Mychek gets the mark. They go back towards the middle, 20 seconds, and then Blitzarves gives away the free kick. I think it was Stanley in the middle, and he holds on to the ball just that little bit extra. They get a dumb kick in, and Chris, perfect forward craft, just get to the front. I still think he rushed the set shot a bit. Don't you reckon? He just sort of... Like,
how overwhelming does it get? Like, he takes the mark. Pendles is talking to him. The umpire's talking to him. Every Collingwood leader would have gone up. He's like, just take your time. And it's just like, you got to kick it over. It's so much stuff would have gone through your head. He can take 5 minutes, put the ball on the ground, close your eyes for a sec, do your laces up. Like, really just take your time so you'd nail it. I don't know.
It was
just a banger. Like, for that game to finish like that, as you said, it was game over. Geelong were like 10 points up with it was like 70 seconds left, 1:10 left when Jamie Elliott took that mark. It's like, if they're going to win, he has to kick this. He misses. Then old prime Mychek takes another clunk. He's like 35th contested mark of the game. He was on fire, the boy. And yeah, just to get... Geelong are going to lose it at how they let Jack Chris play in front in that stoppage, because you knew a quick kick was going to drop short like that. Like, it was going to be slamming on the boot, and he was just in front, first to move. Chris Scott's going to review that. And it just it had to be, for that game, the bloke that's breaking the record for the most consecutive games ever played. Jack Chris takes the mark, and he gets a shot after the siren. And and then just seeing him miss and just everyone on the field sort of got around him. Like the Collingwood players didn't care. They're like, good on you. Even Danger's getting around. It's like, what a game. What a game of football.
So what do you think about the Irish Dacos versus the Australian Nick Dacos, Kev? Let's get into it. Oyster Mullen finished with 9 touches. Not that he's meant to get the ball. Nick was quiet early, and then Nick just went berserk.
So Nick's had 28 1-goal-1, right? That's a good game getting tagged. Anyone's taking 28 1-goal-1. Fourth quarter does. Game on the line. 3 disposals, 1 kick, 2 handballs. That's a win for Oyster Mullen.
In that last 100.
You keep Nick to 3 disposals in the last quarter when the game's on the line. That is an absolute win. Give the points to Oyster Mullen. I was 100% wrong. I called bloodbath. If Geelong walk off with a win and Nick has 3 disposals in the last quarter, has 0 impact on winning the football game, like that is points Oyster Mullen. Good on him.
Just a great team. It was a great team clawback by the Pies. So I want to look at, I'd like to think over the last, let's go 6 or 7 years, Geelong have been they practically make a prelim every year. Like that's what we always say with Chris Scott.
Yeah.
And all their disposals getters, they're all like 20, 22. Like they never have someone that really stands out and takes the votes. Is this the first time in a long time? Obviously, Danger's going to get votes, but they have someone that stands out like a fucking sore thumb. Bailey Smith just pops off the screen.
He really does, doesn't he?
Every single week. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I would love to. I know the Sharks so busy now. We don't have him doing the Brownlow at the moment. If anyone does their own Brownlow counter, can you let us know where would you have Bailey Smith? I'll actually get the odds up.
Yeah, this is why I had him so high on the pyramid. Like, I never thought he could be this midfielder, but he's just passing the eye test and the stat test. He's having his fingerprints on every single game. The way he runs with the football in hand and I hate his stupid headband, but the blonde locks are flowing. Like, he's just a stud. Collingwood were up by like 20-odd points, and then Geelong kicked 7 of the next 8, and then Myercheck kicked 2 in a row to get it to 4-point or 3-point game or whatever it was. I wonder if a Collingwood supporter is going to be filthy about that. 7 of 8 they kicked when they were 20 points up. Like they just came back, then took the lead, then took a comfortable lead where they won the game. Like Collingwood couldn't do anything about it. So just a banger. Just an absolute banger. And the way Chris Scott was so filthy about the Cats losing to the Blues last week and like genuinely emotional. Like that's the worst we've played in years. And it's like, well, the Blues were really good today. And it's like, nah, we were fucking shit house. You're like, wow. I don't know. And then they've responded like that. Like just a great weak game of footy. The Cats are so good. They're so back.
Nick Dacos is favourite at 350. Dawson is second or equal second at 10.
We'll get to him in a minute.
Rail at $10, and then Bailey Smith at 13, Merritt at 13, and then Lachie Neale 15, Brayshaw, then we go on.
Can we start just betting on Bont some more? We'll get to that game in a minute as well.
We will.
What's he paying?
What's Bont? I'll get to that when we get to it.
Oh, anyway. Right. So give us some odds for this game.
So can I say, if you hang around and you're obviously going to listen to the whole roast, Jev, I don't think we've had more value on the board so far in a round. Like, there's a lot of $80s. Like the entire show from Thursday, you've obviously got Friday, but Saturday slate.
Value.
If you had these, and then after this, Jev, make sure you tell the people that we won 2 great bets yesterday. So
we'll give that,
So my check for 4, it's $6.50. Sean Manor kicked 2 at $4. Dempsey kicked 2 at $4.50. Ollie Henry kicked 2 at $3.50. And then for some touches, Smith at 30, disposals at $1.90. Josh Dacos $2.50. Nick Dacos $1.15, which is so short. Danger, he was so close to 30, but for 25 was $11. Pendlebury was only $1.85 and Sidebottom was $1.60, so short for those. This game was pretty short, but all the other games, Jev, there is so much money to be made.
Yeah.
So much money. So I think, every year is so different, but I don't remember a year where it's any team on the day.
Yeah.
Like odds are literally not meaning a thing.
We were talking about it last night with a couple of my mates. Like, it feels like there's no team that you can just genuinely say they're playing grand final day. Like, there's no
No.
team that just absolutely jumps above the rest, I reckon. It's like there's 6 awesome teams and none of them stand out from the rest. And I reckon I've already said it 4 times on this pod. That felt like a prelim last night. That felt like a prelim preview. And I'm pretty sure that's the 4th time I've said it. There's only 2 prelims. There's only 4 teams. Yeah, that was a bagger.
That was awesome. So,
all right, let's go back. Let's go back to Thursday night. We'll go a bit quicker through these games because they were cheeks.
Thanks.
The Bombers win by 3 points. It was a dog of a week for North. They got ran. They just got roasted and rinsed and everything. Bombers win by 3 points. Bombers own the first quarter. Geez, they were just taking the game on, moving the ball, taking the corridor. I was listening to David King. I sort of forgot Kane Corns was commentating on 7, so I just had Fox on. Kingy was just like, geez, the Bombers think they've got a weakness in North and they are just going through the corridor.
Yeah.
He was on, so they kicked 6 goals. They're on 7 goals at halftime, the Bombers. And then they only kicked 2 goals the second half, and North just slowly claw their way back with Tristan Jerry absolutely dominating. What did you see in this game, Das?
Yeah, North did not come out to play. They were getting smashed at clearance, working from D50. This is where they're so bad, North. When a team gets a turnover in transition, the Bombers were just running straight through the middle of the ground, as you said. Nick Martin, Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt is so classy.
Yeah.
He was head and shoulders the best player in the comp. How much was David King roasting LDU? We don't even have to get into it. He had a million turnovers. Sheasel had the ball in the middle at the start of the game. His first disposal, direct turnover, goes the other way.
It was so bad.
How many shitty handballs over their head did you see on the weekend?
Oh, if I was a North supporter, I would have been losing my mind. I would have been losing my mind.
Oh, and you know what made your eyes bleed, Jev? Seeing 2 Dersmers just turn it over consistently. It was, the young Zane had a shot at quarter time.
Oh, that was a bad miss.
They pan over to the sister, the mum. Oh, the family's here. And he just slides it right. Come on, Dersey. You've got to bury those ones. Tristan Jerry was pushing Goldstein around like an off bit of meat in your fridge. Just get out of here. He just bullied him, didn't he?
Oh, he was
helmet
dominant.
Hercules went to work. So it was a dog of a game. Larky couldn't really get into it. Like, it was just when you just wanted the game to go and it's just, I hate this. It was such a bad game to watch.
You know, I'm making my overrated 22 of the league.
Yes.
And my starting midfield, I could never think of the third midfielder. It was Brodie Grundy in the ruck, Caleb Sarong, Sam Walsh, who's been all right. He wasn't that great yesterday. Sam Walsh. My last spot is going to LDU. He's on myth watch. He cost him the game in the first quarter. I swear it was 4 turnovers that went straight through the big sticks for the Bombers. Like 4 direct goal turnovers. He was so bad. And Kane Corns' little smirk would have been that big when Sheasel's first kick, as you said, just went straight to the Bombers, ended in Archie Perkins' hands for a goal. Anyway.
So I do want to mention, though, I get a lot of people at work that come up and we chat about footy and they're like, I can't stand Kane Corns. Like, he's an idiot. And I'm like, he's like, surely you boys don't like him. I'm like, no, we actually love him. Like, we think a lot what he says is true. And I'm like, all right, well, you tell me one thing that you disagree with. I'll give you an hour. Most of them can't. And they're like, what about Sheasel, like, saying that he hasn't been effective? And then you literally put in our group chat. I'm like, well, he had, what was it, 1 contested disposal and 2 score involvements over 32 disposals. Like, you got to be more impactful than that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I guess it's sort of fair. Like, I know that he throws some shit out there, but he does it for a reason. And he does watch a lot of footy.
I'm so glad we're talking about this. I've got a controversial opinion on this, but does this just show how much of a megastar Kane Corns is and how much weight his voice carries? Like, he's come out and ripped Harry Sheasel and he was 100% right. He's getting the ball and doing nothing with it. And so Kingy's gone back and he goes, he's a 20-year-old kid. He hasn't even played 50 games yet. So, righto, let's not rip the kids. But what he said was right. Doesn't matter the age of the kid, was 100% right. Then North this week have released a statement saying they're blackballing him and they've done a press conference saying they're blackballing. Why do North give a fuck what Kane Corns are saying? Just
100%.
win football games. Don't worry about what Kane Corns are saying in the media. Win football games. It's just showing how small of a club they are. Like, when he said that thing about Nick Dacos, Collingwood didn't blackball him. They didn't really address it. Then when they started winning games, Nick got on the thing. He said, yeah, Kane Corns was sort of right. You can't be cramping in the third quarter. Like, he was right. Everyone knew he was right. They were upset. He said it, but everyone knew he was right. It's the exact same thing with Harry Sheezel. I've got the stats right here. So we're going to compare Zach Merritt's 35 and Harry Sheezel's 32. So if you watch the game, 32 and 35, it feels like two good games. Harry Sheezel has...
Also, before you do this, and this is when people look at fantasy rankings. So on the AFL app, if you are looking, Sheezel said it's the highest rated. He got the most amount of fantasy points, so 134, and Zach Merritt had 117. So if you didn't watch the game, you see that, you're like, Kane's an idiot. He's got
Sheezel's best on.
Yeah.
1 contested possession, 29 uncontested possessions, 8 turnovers, 0 goal assists, 3 score involvements.
Yep.
So 3 score involvements in 32. Then we go to Zach Merritt's 35. He's had 14 contested possessions, 6 turnovers, so less turnovers, 13 more contested possessions. He's had 1 direct goal assist and 9 score involvements. Like, it's not close. Zach Merritt's 35 was 10 times better than Sheezel's 32. He's getting the worst footy right now, Sheezel. It is Sheezy ball. Oh, I reckon we're going to get roasted for this, but a North supporter's just super, because they haven't won much, like super sensitive at the moment. Or do you want to win games? I said this in one of our group chats earlier, Dustin Martin in 2016 wasn't Dustin Martin. So the last game of 2016, they lost to the Swans by 120 points. And all off season, it was Dimmer getting fired, was Dimmer not. In 2017, they invent a position for Dusty. He's like a centre bounce, full forward, just a forward. And then Kane Lambert's just coming off half forward and covering for him. So they go from losing the last game of the year to winning the premiership, winning the Brownlow, and Dusty has the best individual season I've probably ever seen. Why don't they do that for Harry Sheezel? Make him a forward half player, invent a position for him, and then people say you can't because they don't win enough. It's like, make a position up and make your most valuable asset. Find a player like Tom Powell that comes off the half forward line and does all the defending for Harry Sheezel, and let him get his ball in the forward half and start having some damaging disposal. I don't know. I might be crazy here, but don't whinge what Kane Corns is saying and make a change at the football club. I don't know if I'm being an arsehole here, Dust. You tell me, but yeah, I'm so on Kane Corns' side, and I know this is going to go down like shit.
No, well, the thing, he even says, he's like, I'm not saying he's a bad footballer. He's a gun. And he's like, I guarantee he's going to be a gun. But I'm just saying what they're doing right now and using him, he's not having an effect on game.
Getting easy
that is
ball.
literally all it is, but it's been clipped the other way. But Jackson Archer out. It's not going to look good.
Hammy.
Jack Darling.
Harry Jones's ankle was gross.
Did you say he's only going to miss a month?
Yeah, because they're not that bad, discount ankle. Once they pop back in, you fix your ligaments.
Yeah. Perfect
it's
dislocation.
Crazy.
It's the best thing that could have happened. A perfect dislocation. Yeah. So that's awesome. Charlie Comben, stop using him as a halfback to kick the ball like a halfbacker. He's not a halfback. Don't let him kick it.
Jeff, what about that Finbar Malley kid?
Finbar!
His first big clunky took in the round the corner banana for his first kick in AFL footy. That was a banger. I was up and about for Big Finn.
But apart from that, Jev, Elijah Sardis, 16 disposals, needs to get more of it. Costanti, Jev, he stinks. I know why the Swans got rid of him. He doesn't have an impact. Jack Darling doesn't have an impact on games. Luke McDonald gave away a couple more goals, Jev. Oh, North Melbourne. It is tough.
There was some good and bad with Ben Mackay. He had a couple of shockers, and Essendon supporters were losing it at him. Did a couple of good things as well, but he had some bad moments.
All right, let's get into some odds because this game was absolutely cheeks. So let's get in. So Perkins, Jeff, for 3 snags was $6.50. Zerha for two goals, only $1.80, which is short. Simkin for 2 snags and a shush was $8. What did he kick them on the third? And then Kane Corns is like, mate, there's still a lot of footy to go. They end up losing. Larky $1.27. Caddy for 2 goals was $1.80. Finbar Jev in his first game was only $1.50 for a snag. Ben Hobbs for a snag was $2.10 and Dersma was $2.75. Now, some disposals, Jev. We could have made some money here. Merritt for 35 touches was $4. Tom Power for 25 touches was $3.30. Tristan Jerry for 25 absolute bully ball touches was $6.50. Xavier Dersma for 25 was $6.50. And then Durham for 25 was $2.80. So there's lots of twos in there. $2.75,
Yeah.
$4, $3.30, $6.50.
You could have doubled some serious money.
Yeah, there was some money to be had. So
Das, I'm going to say it now, and because I know I'm going to get roasted, but I'm going to go out in front. I think I'm going to be extremely wrong about Nate Caddy. I don't apologise for saying he was on bathwater watch early in the season because he looked extremely happy with himself over the preseason and then he didn't get a kick. But another $2.03, another 15 disposals for a 19-year-old key forward, like they're good numbers. Like you think he's just going to develop and develop and develop, and then it's going to start turning into 5 goals, 10 marks. Like it's going to be some good stats. So looks like I'm going to be wrong. He can definitely play. Yeah, let's get into the next game. Guinness. There is no bigger coward of a football club than the Fremantle Dockers. I'm putting a line through them to win the premiership. They are done. I'm the one that looks the dumbest with how high I had Sarong and Brayshaw on my pyramid. I drink the stupid Optus Stadium cordial, the sugary cordial. I get the sugar high of how well they play at Optus Stadium every week. And then they fucking get homesick from a 4-hour stupid flight from Perth. Sarong misses his pillow when he goes away. Brayshaw gets homesick. He's doing my head in. As two blokes that are super highly invested in the Dockers this year because we guaranteed they're over 12.5. It's getting embarrassing. Getting embarrassing. They were $1.60 favourites. The Saints under the lid should never be underdogs. There's not many teams they should be underdogs against. They are just a bang on average football club. Just bang on average. Wilkie gave Josh Treacy an absolute bath. A bath. And Cooper Sharman, whoever he was playing on, was it Cox? Was it Piers? Was it Luke Ryan? Whoever it was, he was looking like Wayne Carey on all 3 of them. He was jumping over all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So overrated. It's getting so disappointing. We say this all the time. It was a Ross Lyon masterclass. As we said, he can coach to beat a team any week of the year. He's a genius. All credit to the Saints. I absolutely love the Saints. I love Jackie Higgins. I think they're Zach Merritt and Zach Butters away from a premiership, and they've just given Freo a bath. Good on them. On Friday night, if I was a Saints supporter, I would have got to platform 28, sucked a couple of pints, headed to the game pretty confident, gone, let's have 50 on the Saints at $2.30 or whatever they were. They're a chance tonight, and I would have been counting my cash at halftime, back to platform 28 for some winners piss. They're just better than Freo when it's in Melbourne. So I've had my roast. I'm so sick of Freo on the road. They are embarrassing themselves. Zip and 3 in Victoria this year.
The Norwood Sharman, Jev. He was unbelievable. He genuinely looked like Carey, as you mentioned. So I just want to mention, I know we didn't touch on the last game. Dope Thursdays. I'm cold as ice. It's cold as ice. I gotta make a sacrifice, I know. But we said on the roast last week when we did Guess the Lines, this feels like a Ross Line masterclass.
Yes.
We feel that Roscoe's just going to get on the line. You do Jevy Fridays, you get Tommy Sheridan involved, and then I knew straight away, I didn't want to say, you let him put Freo head-to-head in. Hey, go well, kid. There you go. This is free money. As soon as I saw the video, I didn't want to message you. I was like,
no, I tell you the backstory on this.
What have you done?
So I remember last week, I said Jevy Friday is getting built around the Saints with some points. I said it on the roast.
Yes.
Then on our 100K pod, I said we're taking St Kilda money line first quarter at $2. I'm like, I'll just do it. And then I'm like, nah, I've got to put a better product out on Insta. I've got some good contacts. Let me get some friends involved. So I text Tommy and I go, what's the best leg of the night? And he goes, Freo to win. And my head just drops. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to tell him to change his leg. I'm just like, I'll cop the loss if they lost. He's like, $1.60 is unbelievable. I'm like, all right, send me a video, please, of you green screening. So he sends it. I get Chock involved. He gives me Shy Bolt for 2 because it's Statmate's best leg. I only had to add in Jack Higgins 1. Oh, God. What was I doing?
I couldn't believe you. We literally spoke twice last week. You're like, hey, no, this feels like a Ross line win. We both agreed. Then you said, I'm going to build around the Saints points or them. I gave you the stat. They win the first quarter. It was paying $2. There's the start. And
should I have got Tommy and Chock involved next week? I should have just taken me win. It would have been Saints plus the points, Saints money line first quarter, and then whatever goals I needed Jack Higgins to kick. But he only kicked 1, so I might have needed Higgins to 2. So I still could have lost. But at least I didn't lose on what we know. Dars, how disappointed are you in Freo?
They are just, we had them basically finish mining premiership. Essentially. Yep. We went through their list and we're just like, this has to, like, they have to make the jump. I just don't, you know who they're like? Round them up with Carlton as teams that can look unbelievable one week and absolutely pig's ass the week after. So even though they're losing us and Carlton, it's so bad. Geelong loses a few games, but they're like, if they lost last night, they played unbelievable. They probably should have lost against Adelaide. They played unbelievable. Yeah. They played a massive game against the Hawks. They still played good, but Carlton beat them. Like, they're only just losing. Fremantle look like a 3-side sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, borderline uncompetitive. I just don't know how that happens. Like, as you said, is it the flying? Do they just hate playing at Marvel? Like,
are the pillows over in WA that comfortable? Like, it's like the Doonas over there are like a magnet to your heart or something. I just don't get it. Nothing annoys me. I always get sent the screenshot of Caleb Sarong's stats when he dominates in Perth. And everyone's like, oh, overrated. I'm like, he does it to every time he wins the stupid Ross Glendenning medal against one of the worst sides we've seen in the last 10 years. He's won 4 of them against West Coast. Everyone's like, oh, you say this bloke's overrated. I'm like, watch him do it on the road or in must-win football games. And he never does it. He never fucking does it. So I'm not saying he's not a good player when he's at Optus Stadium and the conditions are perfect and he's playing West Coast. I'm saying it's when he gets on a plane or when it's a game that means they're making finals or not, he's not that good. I'm just trying to think. Das, I got a little riddle for you. Sorry, let me just get this. Hugo Garcia, Jack Sinclair, Marcus Windhager, Jimmy Webster, Brad Hill, Jack Steele, Callum Wilkie, Nasai Wanganeen-Malera, and Jack McRae all have in common.
They get their meat from Bally's dad.
That, and they all had more possessions than Brayshaw and Sarong. All of them. Like, it's just fucked. Let me give you some odds on this game. There wasn't a heap. There was a couple of good ones. So big Wayne Carey, Cooper Sharman was $10 for 4. Nice. Mitch Owens was $4.75 for 3. Darcy Wilson, the boy, geez, I love this kid. He was $2.10 for 1. Lance Clyde was $1.50 for 1. Brad Hill was $3 for 1. So there's some good value there if you can just pick the little 1-goal scorers. Yep. Touches, Jack McRae got $8 for 35. That's nice. Nas was just $1.50 for 25. Cal Wilkie was $1.65 for 20. And Jimmy Webster's family were having a couple of vodka Red Bulls at platform 28. He was $4.75 for 20 touches. The best multi of the night would have been McRae 35 into Sharman for 4. You would have got 80 to 1. That would have been nice, stars. The Saints are so good under the lid. I've got a theory next year that we're going to do. Every time the Saints are underdogs under the lid, we're having 100 on them. They've already beaten Geelong as underdogs and now Freo as underdogs. You would be up in money. You would be up.
So I want to know, with McRae coming in, yes, he's always been good at the Dogs. Does it show he had 25 contested possessions, 35 I think he finished with for the game, or 38.
38.
Does that show how bad the Saints midfield actually are? And does it actually show how their 1 or 2 stars actually away? Like, put Butters in there. Like,
yes.
Give them a little bit more talent.
Yes.
Like, go get James Warple. I don't know. He's out there because, They need one or two gun mid. Like Jack McRae is having a great season.
Yeah.
He's having an all-time season.
He
for him.
really is.
Like 25 contested. Like they're not winning
It's
this
a big
game without
game.
him. Like he bullied them. He
Je-
genuinely bullied them, and he's been super consistent this year. Also, Jeb, want to give a shout out. We want to try and come up with a market maybe next week, but we're gonna have a go at Jev at the St Kilda forklift drivers. Yes, there are 3 men: Max Hall, Cooper Sharman, and who's our other? Hugo Garcia. So
And
Jev,
Lance Collard. I think there's 4 of them.
yeah, Lance Collard. So Max Hall had just 15 disposals, 1 point. Who else do we have? Hugo Garcia had a snag at 19. And what about our boy
Lance Collard
Lance?
kicked a goal and Sharman kicked 4.
Lance Collard, 1 goal, 6 touches.
If it's called the St Kilda forklift drivers to combine for 5, that's a funny market on PointsBet. Any Saints supporters, I know the Saints supporters will bet on that. That is a funny market. Das, let's get into the next game. If you want to get a touch up, if you want to go, you finish the game with windburn, it's freezing cold, and you've gotten your ass kicked, you go play the Dogs at Ballarat. They gave Freo the business. They got Bont just took his belt off and just started whooping him. Das, I don't know if you saw it. So it was about 5 goals. It was a bit under 5 goals at halftime. It was a fine game of footy. The wind was hard. Like the Dogs were playing the wind a bit better. Port were playing some good footy, right? Then in the third quarter, I'm just quickly scrolling to it. In the third quarter, it went the 17-minute mark, Bont kicks a goal. The 21-minute mark, Bont kicks a goal, and he just called game in about 4 minutes of footy. 4 minutes of footy, he just said, nah, this game's over, and it went from 5 goals to like an 8-goal margin, and then it was game over from there. He just said, I've got this, boys. He was only doing about 15 touches. He ended up with 3 for the game, 22 disposals. Little things like this, I want to put him above Dacos on the pyramid. When Dacos has the last quarter he has, I know it's overreacting, and then Bont has 3 goals, 23 touches. I've got his stats here. 8 contested possessions, 10 score involvements. He was just unbelievable. Like, he's just simply less footy, but everything he touches is gold.
What's more likely, 100 men beat a gorilla, Jev, in a fight, or 23 players can stop the Bonnet Mars Stadium?
No one can stop him.
What's more likely, the 100 men beating a gorilla? He was unbelievable. We were getting some messages early. Oh, Bont's going to sell out in the multi. First leg. He's only got 2 touches. He's warming into it. Yeah. He's just checking out where he's just marking out his spots with a spray paint can where he's going to kick the goals.
Where he's going to dominate the second half.
Into the wind. That's where I'll kick my first one. He's just spray painting the lines. He's telling his players where he's going to go. So he's Jev best. Like it's him and Dacos. You can argue with the wall.
Yeah,
they're the 2 best players in the comp.
They are the best players in the comp.
This is the game last year where Rosie and Butters had 17 touches each in the first quarter. Seen a few posts from on Sench and stuff. It was just like, how much fun is Bevo having at the moment that they're getting players back? Trelaw come back into the side. Imagine if Jamara was fit and healthy.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine Sam Darcy was still playing.
Yes. Like Rory Lobbs in career best as well.
How good? Like, I know people keep joking about or talking about it. He's genuinely so good.
Yes.
He reads the ball really well in the air.
He's a big dude.
The side. They've been able to drop just so many players in and out. Like, if you're on the chopping block, you're out. Because we got so many guys that can come in. Bramble will come in. West was in and out of the side.
Yeah.
He's finally finding some form. Bailey Dale, ever since he dropped, when Bevo dropped him, I don't know, everyone went at him at the start of last year, like, why do you drop your All-Australian? Because since that moment, he's literally been playing like an All-Australian.
So good. So good. He's such a good player. He plays well above his size and weight. If you see him attack the ball and he takes tackles on, he makes himself small like a running back and takes tackles on, beating a team by 90 points is not easy in this league. And they've just been Port, who have come off beating Hawthorn, the Swans, and who'd they beat last week?
Hawthorn, the Swans.
Whoever they beat last week.
Good question. My memory.
North Melbourne by 9 points. And then they've just pumped them by 90 points. Like, that is not easy. Remember I said so Joel Frazier's a guy. So now Joel Frazier's playing in the mid, and they've got the luxury. They had their 2 half forwards were Adam Treloar and Marcus Bontempelli. And they were taking turns coming up to stoppages. Like, what a luxury, because Joel Frazier's that guy. He's playing that well. So as we said last week to us, you've got Fraser and Bont, you've got Richards and Treloar, and then you've got Libber and Kennedy. And they're all similar to each other. It looks like they play the same role. They're your 6. And just build around the edges. Like, St Kilda would kill for that 6 midfielders. Like, kill. So
it feels like that. It honestly feels like they're going to go just on a run. Like the Dogs
they
just
are so good.
So let's get into a little bit of roasting because this is our favorite bit. We're officially changing the name, Jev, from Jordan Sweet to Jordan Sour. He's given away the most free kicks in the AFL this year. He copped an absolute bath. Last year, Jev, once or twice a year, it happens. Like the Swans beating the Bombers, Jev. Like your annual fate, your school fate, Christmas, Easter. Jordan Sweet gets absolutely cooked. It happens once a year. And Oscar McInerney went to Adelaide last year, Jev, and he kicked 3 and had about a 30 burger. You see what Tim English did yesterday? Tim English, Jev, he had 27 and 3. 27 and 3.
That is a big day.
Oh my God.
30
and what did
out.
our man have? What did Jordan Sour have?
9 and 1. 9 touches and 1. He got a soft free kick at the top of the goal square.
Jev, he didn't get near Big the translucent crayfish. He didn't get near him. 3 sausages. So, yeah, the Dogs are really cooking at the moment. As you said, the tweet was perfect. Bont called game in 4 minutes. He got the clearance. He runs forward and no one checks him. No one marks him. Gets the ball back and kicks the goal into the wind. And it's just like,
I can't wait for Bont versus Dacos. Remember, the Dogs played a really good game against the Pies and they lost right at the end and Bont didn't play. I want to see that game on the G so badly.
Nick had like 26 in the first half and then Bont went to him. No, I think
that was last year. But remember earlier this year? It was a controversial game.
Yeah.
Nick just walked over the line like he was scoring a try. It should have been paid deliberate. Sam Darcy was on fire. Anyway, you got some odds for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jev, this one is awesome.
Is this a multi-stream?
There is some, if you multied all these together, like the shortest one, which I'll get into. So, Aaron Norton for 3 goals was $2.30. Tim English for 3 snags was $67.
That's so good.
Bont for 3 was $6.50. Riley West for 2 snags at $2.10. Rioli for 2 snags at $2.70. Buku Kamas for 2 goals at $6.50. Ed Richards for 2 goals at $11. Bailey Dale for 30 was $4.25. Ed Richards for 30 at $5. Treloar for 25 was only $1.25 in his first game back. Just really wanted to put that in. Tim English for 25 was $7. And Kennedy for 25 was $1.95.
Morg said on the 100K show this week that you don't bet on Mars Stadium. If the Dogs are playing there, you bet on the Dogs. 20s, 25s, 2 touches, whatever it is. That is domination, Das. Let's get to Carlton. Let's get to the Baggers. We are They've only ever won on Adelaide Oval twice. One, they were kissed on the dick against Freo in Gather Round last year, and they pumped West Coast. They've never beaten an Adelaide-based club at Adelaide Oval.
No, we did last year. We beat Port when Cripps.
That's right, sorry. You beat Port.
We haven't beaten Adelaide.
You've never beaten the Crows at Adelaide Oval. You beat them by 10. You lost by 10 goals yesterday. 110-50. What the hell?
Oh, Jev, the Bonnie Blues are back. The Bonnie Blues are back. The back door's open and we just get absolutely cooked by everyone. If I could tell you 2 players, the most dominant players for the side, who would it be? Dawson and Rankin, you'd think.
They were both unbelievable.
Would you think? Would you think Dawson and Rankin?
If 2, so I don't rate the Crows midfield that much if you slow down one of those 2. but if you let them run off the chain.
Don't let them both cook. So you were doing your pyramid the other day, and I know the committee was chatting, and it's like, who's having a better year, Dawson, whatever. The committee came out and said, which raised a good point. I can't remember who in the committee it was, but they've said, Dawson's been playing a lot. Like literally, he'll go down there. There's Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Tex, and Dawson goes down whenever he wants and says, I'm going to be taking the biggest marks here and just go back and kick him. He kicked 3 awesome goals yesterday.
That one after the sign, I can't remember what corner.
Boundary.
He let out like he was Nick Rewalt, clunk, Fev, siren goes and he just goes back. And so I'm like, is that the best full forward in the game? He's another one. The Dangerfield role right now, when Bontempelli's playing it in a couple of years, Jordan Dawson's going to be playing that of just a full forward gun. He is a gun.
Don't get beat by what you know, Jev. Don't let Ben Keys sit out the back and kick two on you.
Yes.
He does it every bloody time. Every time. Like, it does my head in. I just don't understand. This is like Freo. So Freo can have a good win. David King even went out last week. He's like, if they play like this, top 4 side, lock it in. This brand of football. I don't know what we are. Like, we hate the pillows in Adelaide. Like, but it's just so you know he never should play another game.
Who?
Sam Doherty does not play another game for Carlton.
Oh, poor bloke.
Two-time All-Australian, I think.
I hear.
Best and fairest. Awesome story. Doc, I love you. You were fantastic for the club. You are done. Play Ben or Lucas. He was giving away free kicks. It's like he's turning on eggshells barefoot. He can't run. He doesn't dispose of the ball.
Yeah.
If Jesse Motlop gets another game for Carlton, Jev, I'm not even saying this is a piss take. There were 4 direct turnovers in the middle of the ground. He gets mowed down. Who was it? It was Worrell. So if you're a small forward, the quickest people on earth is a small forward running back towards goal. Jack Higgins does it.
Yes.
Sky Bolton usually can do it. Anyone, Tom Papley. He had 3 lengths on Worrell, and Worrell mowed him down and rushed it for a behind. What are you doing? You have to have, it's either pace, you have to have footy brains, or you have to have skill.
Yeah.
He can't do any of them. He kicked 2 or 3 against North, and he's telling the crowd to shush. We're up by 80 points.
Yeah.
Dunk time goals. It's borderline embarrassing why the selection committee keep getting him in there. Harry Mackay just decided, I had a good game last week. I'm going to go back in my shell. Will White couldn't get amongst it. It was, oh, mate, I could keep going. Lord, horrendous. Blake Acres, the butcher, didn't get anywhere near it. Ollie Hollins, he can't kick a fucking drop punt. Lewis Young, if Lewis Young's in the side, just put it down as an L. Put it down as an L. Like, it shows how good Sauce has actually been for us.
Yes. That's just the first thing. He is like all-Australian good off halfback he's been playing, and it just shows he misses and how competitive he is and how much he loves Carlton. He goes out and how bad did you look? This is like everyone got back. So everyone wanted Voss gone. And then everyone started drinking the Voss Kool-Aid again after winning 3 in a row. You beat the Cats. Last week was a Voss masterclass as well. Like, give him that credit. Was he drinking his own? Was he reading his own headlines and drinking his own bathwater? You cannot let Jordan Dawson kick 3 goals, 1 and have 22 touches, and Isaac Rain kick 2 goals, 2 and have 29 touches. 3 votes. You know Brownlow night when they read out the Brownlow votes. 3 votes Jay Dawson, 2 votes Isaac Rankin, 1 vote probably another fucking Adelaide player.
I actually don't think when you say that, I don't think it's Voss drinking his bathwater. He watched that first quarter and it kept coming to him. He was literally pulling what he has left of his hair out.
Yeah.
This is 100% players.
Yeah.
It was borderline embarrassing. There was so many times you can't zone off good teams.
Yeah.
So, if there's, remember you used to do the drill, there's 3 people with the footy and 1 person in the middle trying to put pressure on.
Yeah.
You run, you kick it, you fake them left, you go right. And as soon as you commit one way, it goes the other way. That's exactly what it was. Someone will come off their man, they chip to that person's open, then they're open.
Darcy Fogarty's goal. They kept going forward and
They just went end to end so many times. And players' effort. I bet you Kingy will talk about it on First Crack. There's like 5 or 6 players in the middle just hurting. It's like, where are you guys?
Yeah.
You're in no man's land. And it fucking does my head in.
This is where
I do, but I don't care. It's just like I'm watching it. And I was almost belted by the old man when if Carlton lose, I get the belt. It's like it's my fault.
It's a joke amongst all us mates for the people that are listening. It's Darce's fault when Carlton loses, and his old man blames Darce. So Darce does a good thing. He goes around to his parents for dinner on a Saturday night. He's watching the Blues game with his old man. Let's have some nice ribs and get a good W. They're losing, and Darce is just copping it. What's going on here, Darce? It's like Darce is the GM, the CEO, the coach, and the captain of the club. He just cops it. Then Chook takes his belt off and starts belting him. Anyway, Darce, this is why I get annoyed Sam Walsh. He's been in good form.
You see he's corky, though?
Okay, I won't then. I won't roast him. I just feel like he thinks he can go head-to-head with Rankin, and he can't. Whereas like he's going to have the same impact if they're going, I'll go one way, you go the other. Let's see who has more impact on a game. And he isn't that guy. He's fit enough, competitive enough to go, I'll stand on you at every stoppage. Like you're my starting point, and then I'll win my own ball. I don't think he's the sort of guy that can go, like if Nick Dacos and Bont go head-to-head, it's like, righto, Bont's probably going to have 30 and 4, and Dacos is going to have 38 and 2. Who wins the game at the end? I don't think he's that guy, but anyway, I don't want to roast him too much. You got some odds? You got anything more you want to say? Oh, should we give the Crows some love? Oh, we sort of have. They're fucking good at home. Dawson is awesome. Like, he's awesome. Rankin's awesome. He has to come back on my pyramid. Ben Keys cost us the 100K. We had him for 15. He only had 12. He kicked 2 goals, 2 had 12. Flat about that. Can we? Oh, you give some odds, then I want to talk about the bet we put on.
Yep. So again, Jev, this is money. So Dawson for 3 snags was $41.
Yes.
Ben Keys for 2 was $2.50. Rankin for 2 was $2.80. Rochelle for 2 was $2. Alex Neil-Bullen for 2 was $6.50. Fogarty for 2 was $1.65. Durden for 2 was $3.75. Kerno for 2 was only $1.50. Cripps for 2, couple bucks. Rankin for 2 was $2.80. Miller for 25 was $11. Max Michaelani for 25 touches was $21. And George Hewitt for 25 was only $1.20. So there's so many prices there.
So a bet we put on in the Discord before the game.
Yes.
We had 2. One of them was to get back $1,000 return. All that cost that was Keys 15. We had Kerno to kick 3, only kicked 2. But Rankin 2, Rochelle 2, Durden 2, Cripps 2. $9 into $6.50. Pat Cripps kicks a beautiful set shot with a minute to go.
Bang.
That wins $650. Couple of guys on the Discord got it. That was a banger of a multi. 72-1. That paid. That is a banger. Next game, Das.
No,
I don't
and
want to. Sorry, you go.
And then you mentioned you tell the boys. So it's me, you, and Morgs. You like I was reading this as if like we were in a little 3 huddle, and your arm was over, and you're looking, you're like, boys.
I said, give me one leg from each game. So we got the Collingwood Geelong game, the West Coast Melbourne game. Give me one leg from each game, like you're going to have $500 on this multi.
Yeah.
So you gave me Nick
Petrarca.
Dacos for 25, Christian Petrarca anytime. Petrarca kicks for the first, Dacos gets his 25. Morgs gives me Tom Atkins for 15, Liam Baker 20.
2 sharp
That wins. I give Bobby Hill anytime, Waterman for 2. At 3/4 time in both these games, ticks. All we needed was Waterman for 1 goal. We had $80 on it, and we got back $350. We won $1,000. We turned 30 into $1,000 on the punt yesterday, Das. We were on fire. We're going to be posting more in the Discord today and this week and stuff. So that was good. Das, I'm not going to lie to the followers of the listeners. I've got a social life. I was at the footy club last night. We had a silent disco. The only game they had on was Collingwood Geelong. I have not seen 1 second of West Coast Melbourne. So talk to me like I'm an alien that's just come from Mars and I've rocked up at Optus Stadium. What happened in this game?
Bury this game, Jev, in the archives of one of the games you don't ever want to hear about or look towards. So this is a shit show. Petrarca kicks the first. We messaged the boys are up and about. It was 2 goals to zip a quarter time. It was nothing. And then West Coast just keep kicking these pot shots from far on the right side of the ground. And you're like, oh my God, are they actually going to do it? A Melbourne Cheeks. A West Coast finally going to get a scalp. And then they just run away with it. That is it, Jev. They just run away with it. They just bully him. West Coast run out of legs. No one looks exciting for them. It's just like, oh my God, they're going to lose again. We had them for over 5.5. Oh, I think I had them under. Like, I just don't know where they're going to be winning these games from. But I would rather touch on some players and roast some players rather than the game, Jeff, because It wasn't a really good game. Oscar Allen's gone. Gone.
What's
Gone.
going on?
We have to talk about Max Gawn is the greatest ruckman to ever play in the AFL.
He's the greatest ruckman we've ever seen by an absolute mile. 35-1 and 47 hitouts. That is domination.
Domination. Jev, he's won 7 All-Australians. He's a premiership captain. He's kicked 5 goals in a prelim. Jev, he's the greatest ruckman. He's the wall. How many times have you seen him big spots where a team goes to kick out? Big Maxi just marks it, pumps it back in.
Yeah.
Able to hit the scoreboard. So many ruckmen aren't good at kicking goals. He can go forward. He can sit behind the ball. He's dominant. He has made that team relevant. Him, Petrarca, Oliver, that grand final where they actually kicked away in those prelims, he was putting it on a platter. Silver service, the way that he plays the game. I think he was picked like 38. He used to just smoke darts and just didn't take it serious. And then he shaved his head, grew a beard, and he's like, I'm just going to just bully pokes.
Dominant.
He's so fit. He runs plays into the ground. I don't know how much longer we're going to get Max for. All I want to say, if you're a Melbourne supporter, go watch him. Go
appreciate what you've got, yeah.
Unfortunately, these big guys, I feel when there's a drop-off, like he just won't be as impactful. What he's doing at the moment to keep his side, like their head above water, is unbelievable. So, well done. They obviously didn't have Oliver playing. Viney, just same thing. Like, just a goal, 18 touches.
I'll tell you.
It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game, Jeff.
I'll tell you who's on, he's on Guy Watch. He's in the same bucket as Joel Frazier right now. Elijah Hewitt does.
Yes.
He's getting in the Joel Frazier bucket. He's on we've got an absolute guy here sort of thing. 3 goals, 15 touches in a loss. West Coast supporters, you're going to start seeing kids in number 8 jersey soon, Das. This kid can play.
So I know we touch on him every week because it's just a good talking point, Harley Reid. If you had to put money on right now, where's he going?
It changes every week. It's the Bombers, it's Geelong, it's Hawthorn. It's St Kilda will be in the thing.
What do you feel? So what would West Coast want? Would Warple, Hustwaite, and a second round to get Harley Reid?
No, it'll have to be 2 first, which he's not worth. But it's weird. He's not having any impact on games. But then West Coast want 5 first rounders for him, so it's a bit of a tough one.
If you had to put money on it now, where's he going? I think
the Hawks.
I genuinely think the Bombers.
Yeah.
I feel it's like I want to be paid as the man.
Yeah.
And I just really think whether he likes, I know he wants to win, but I just really wants heaps of cash.
Yeah, he wants the bag. We say about the Bombers, are they on Merritt's timeline or are they on Caddy and Caco's timeline? It feels like they're on 2 different timelines for a premiership. They get Harley Reid and he turns into a guy. It can build that bridge. But anyway, you got some odds for us.
Yeah, also mention it every week. How many more games is Tom Cole going to play?
What did he have?
9. 9 touches, Jeff. Not impactful. All right, here we go. We got some odds on this one. So, Waterman for 3 goals was $2.40. Disco Turner kicked 3 at $9. Elijah Hewitt, Jeff. $81 for 3.
Fuck.
That would have been awesome. We did mention him the other week. Langdon for 2 at $15. Jamie Cripps for 2 at $3.50. Max Gawn, you couldn't get him for 35, but for 30 touches was $11. Petrarca for 25 was $1.55. Marek, your man, Jev, for 25 was $2.50. And Cade Chandler couldn't get him for 25, but for 20 disposals was $9.
That's some good value. Some good value there. That is the first part of the roast. It is Sunday morning. We've got Swans GWS coming up in about an hour from now. I am so nervous. I just want to win. Welcome back to part 2 of the Sunday roast. The final siren on Hawthorn Richmond has just gone. The 2 Sunday games have been played. Das.
Jev, let's touch on your boys, though. You're back on the winners list. What a game it is. The big brother just dominates the little brother once again. Is it 4 or 5 times in a row? I don't know. But what a win 5 times in a row. What a win in the coach's box. It looks like you guys got it done. There was so much niggle at the start. I feel the Swans have missed that the last month. They made it a mission to go after him, to try and get under the skin of Sam Taylor and all these other players and not take a backward step. I think he kicked about the first 5 goals. You held him at bay for the entirety of the rest of the match, Jeb. They never really looked like a threat. It was just a great win by the Swans. Talk us through it. The Giants are on a little bit of fraudy watch, Jev. It's unbelievable what they're doing. Talk to me.
God, thank God. Thank God we got the win. We played great. We responded great. And Dean Cox had his first, let's call it masterclass, his first big coaching performance where he won it. You know, David King always says, don't lose it on a Wednesday at match committee and stuff. He won it on a Wednesday. So when I saw Joel Hamling and Aaron Francis going down to our full forward line, I'm like, oh my God.
Crap.
That is not the full forward line. But Aaron Francis tagged Sam Taylor and Joel Hamling tagged Jack Buckley. And they just niggled him all day and they made it so hard for him. Giants never got their intercept game going. Sam Taylor, it's like Aaron Francis 100% beat Sam Taylor. He had 1 intercept mark for the day. He's leading the comp in intercept marks. Jack Buckley had a tough day all day. The Swans never kicked it from outside 50 to the top of the goal square hotspot, or very rarely. They just kept hitting up leads and honouring leads or kicking it into pockets and taking boundary throw-ins. They never let the Giants just take an intercept mark. So that was a tick. Old dog Dane Rampy, one of the most competitive blokes ever, who has looked done at times. They put him on Toby Green. Toby Green would have saw Rams and licked his lips. Rampy gave him a bath, Das. He gave him a bath. He didn't kick a goal, Toby Green. He kept him at bay. He didn't give him an inch of space. They tagged Lockie Whitfield. James Jordan smashed him in the first half. Lockie Whitfield got going a bit in the second half. He probably had 15, 16 second half disposals, but James Jordan kicked 2 in the last quarter that were the 2 sealers of the game. The first sealer he kicked put us 21 points up with about 15 minutes to go. Then they kicked a couple of quick ones. I'm like, oh, God, it wasn't a sealer. Then he kicked another one that definitely was the sealer. So Dean Cox just got it right in the coach box, and GWS tried to tag both of Heaney and Warner with a couple of no-name Giants who I can't even remember who they were, and I'm not bagging them. Toby Bedford had a crack. He had a bad first quarter on whoever he was playing on. Then that incident happened we can touch on later. But just credit to Dean Cox. So we kicked the first 5 of the game, and then it was 5 goals to 2 at quarter time. GWS never, ever hit the front in this game. We led the whole from wire to wire. We led the game. When we did the same against Gold Coast last week, but then we gave up 12 goals in a row. That is so un-Sydney-like. That is so uncompetitive. That is just being easy beats. That is like laying over. That didn't happen this week. So this is why I refuse to give up on the Swans. It's like 8 players that played grand final day are going to slowly start coming back from injury. We're probably going to get 2 a week for the next 4 weeks until our bye, and then Errol comes back. So we're going to get Amadi, Mills, Fox, Cunningham, Papley, Taylor Adams, Errol Goulden, and there's one more. All from that played grand final day. So wins like this are golden. That's why I refuse to quit on the Swans. If we're shit, when every single player is fit and healthy and they're back and it's round 14, we're still shit, I'll put a line through them, but I can't do it. If they're 5-5 or 4-6 or whatever it's going to be, 5-6 after our bye, where I still think we're a chance. So Heaney and Chad were great again today. They were both on fire. Heaney was unbelievable in the first quarter. So was Chad. Chad got the best on medal with only 24 touches. Shows the impact he was having on the game. Everything he touched turned to gold. Oh, it was just a good day, Das. It was a good day to be a Swan supporter. I'm wrapped. We got it done.
It's exactly what you want to do. So when you look at Buckley and Taylor, Cox took that away from him straight away. As you said, if it's Francis and Hamling, it almost gives you the shivers looking at that magnet board. But what don't you do? You don't kick it on their head. You don't let them go one-on-one and intercept a little bit of dirty ball. But I just want to touch on, I don't know what the Giants are doing at the moment. Tom Green filled his boots as always, 34, I'm kicking a goal. Finn Callahan, he usually hovers around the mid to high 20s. He had 33, still had a good day. Definitely tried to work his way into the game a lot more. I think he played a lot more in through the middle. He wasn't playing as much on the outside. Whitfield, as you said earlier, someone went to who was playing on him most of the day?
James Jordan. James Jordan.
So as you said, he got the best of him. But I want to touch on, so your man Toby Green, you get to talk to him every Tuesday. He has had a bad patch. 0 goals, 2 goals, 0 goals. When we look at Jesse Hogan as well. He came back and kicked 9 goals than 4 goals, and then it's been 2, didn't play 2 than 1. He hasn't looked impactful. He hasn't looked like he's just going to take a game over. It's not like he's going to come in, take the big clunks. He's missing his set shots, and bad kicking's bad football, but they just look like they've lost their spark. But they've done this the last few years. They won 5 in a row, then they lost 5 in a row. And then they've just got to work their way back into it. When they're good, they're like, this is easily the best team in the comp. They're so quick. There's so many stars. But at the moment, it's looked like they're waiting for one of their leaders to step up and take it by the scruff of the neck. But it's like Tom Green, yes, he's getting his numbers, but he's not taking over games. Toby Green isn't. Jesse isn't. They've lost their identity a bit, and just looks like that there's so many holes in their game.
Yeah. Remember in the preseason, I said, do GWS have the most overrated midfield in the comp? You think... So the Swans were pretty happy to go. They didn't put any work into Finn or Tom Green today. They'll go, we'll go head to head. We'll go Chad and Isaac, and you go Tom and Finn, and we'll see who wins. So Tom Green has 34, Finn has 32, Chad has 24, Tahini has 22, and I'd say Chad and Isaac got the chocolates for sure. Finn was awesome today, and he jumps off the screen the way he gets it. He runs hard back, he gets the ball, then he gets involved in handball chains and bursts through the middle, and Tom Green always wins it. But I don't know if they have enough score involvement, or they're getting enough ball in damaging positions. Feel like they're missing. I'm trying to think of the perfect play. Obviously it's Bontempelli, but someone that might play as a midfieldish centre half forward, because they're not getting it deep to Jesse anymore. Finn and Tom Green look great in the back 50, but they never connected anymore to get it into deep to Jesse Hogan one-on-one. They're just not doing that, and that's usually Toby's role. I don't know what they're missing, but there's some they're missing with them, because the midfield puts up good numbers. Sam Taylor and Buckley are great. Tobes, Stringer, or Jesse Hogan should get off the chain. It's just not happening. Kieran Briggs is on a big watch. He got injured today. He was limping around. Where's another ruckman for him? I don't know if they've got anyone else out there ready to go.
Go get the guy from Southport, the Sharks, that was training at the Dogs.
That looks like Shane Mumford with a shaved head.
Yes.
Go get him. Shane Mumford would love him. He'd get to training. They'd go out for a slab each, and then he'd be good to go. I couldn't agree. What's his name? Crosley or something.
They've got to go back to doing what they do. But I know Buckley and Taylor was still pushing. That's their identity. They're going to do that every game. So they're fine. Bedford, I know that he went off, but you got to look at, we talk about him here, but Toby Green's got to get under the skin a little bit more. Yeah. He hasn't lost his edge, but he's just he's just playing, he's holding himself a little bit more as a captain. I'm not telling you he has to run through someone, because if he does that, they'll actually give him 10 weeks. They'll be like, his record's so bad, but I don't know what he needs to do. Darcy Jones, 10 touches. He's at his best. He needs to be getting 15 to 16 touches. They need to use him and find whatever matchup it is so they can run him off his legs. They've just got to use, they've got a card there that they have to play with him. And, I just don't know what they're going to do going forward. But it was a great win, Jeb. 14 points. Do you have any odds in this one?
Yeah, I've got some odds. For us. What do we got? First of all, the Swans were $2.10 at the SCG against a team they've now beaten 5 times in a row, Das. Why were we underdogs? We were 0-3 going to the at the SCG this year. But anyway, Stringer for 3, coming on as a sub. So this would have got voided, but I screenshotted earlier in the day when he wasn't a sub, but he was $6.50 for 3. Cadman for 2 was $2.15. He had the best first half I've ever seen Aaron Cadman play. Didn't do heaps in the second half, but he was good today. It's starting to come. He's played 40-odd games, they were saying today.
Yeah.
James Jordan for 2 was $10, which is delicious. That's one to watch next time, or whenever he plays on a half forward, a half back, and he plays half forward, him for goals. There's a couple he usually plays on, so... James Rowbottom for 1 was $3.50. Tom Green for 1 was $2.75. Joel Hamling for 1 was $2.25. His first goal in 97 games of AFL football. He hit both posts before he kicked the goal. He hit the post twice, then kicked one. And Caden Cleary was $2.10. Touches, Tom Green $30, $1.80. Finn for 30 was $3.75.
Nice.
25 wasn't much. Matty Roberts $1.75. Whitfield $1.17. Lockie Ash $1.45. 20 touches, Cal Ward was $2, Connor Iden was $1.95, and Justin McInerney was $1.55. So not great value in the game. You have to be on the right players. Hard day to win a multi, especially when Jesse and Toby aren't kicking any goals. So when we get into Guess the Lines, because I got no idea who the Giants are playing next week, but they are due. They've lost 3 in a row. A team that talented should never lose 3 in a row. So they are due. They will be pissed off at training this week. They've got a couple, I don't know if it's injuries, but there's a couple of guys running around that I don't know if they're ready to play footy. I know their twos are so good, but it's like one of those ones that when a twos player comes up, he doesn't look up to the level. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. That they have to bounce back. They've actually got the Cats, Jev, so it doesn't get any easier.
At GMHBA?
Yeah, but they always play well down there.
They always play well. And they always get their season back on track with this game. And they put Oyson Mullen on Toby Green and he teaches him a lesson. So that is one to look forward to. I'm already excited about that. Let's get into Hawthorn Richmond. You could have... Everyone, write the script to this game, put it in the envelope before the game, and we'll open the envelopes after and see what it's saying. Hawks win by 70 points. Everyone gets a lick of the ice cream. The crowd's going nuts because there's 300 ex-Hawthorn players there. Bang. That's what I would have written and handed into you. It just went exactly how it was always going to go, Das.
100%. At the start, bit of an arm wrestle, a bit of dirty. Like, they were missing their chances. 2 goals, 5 to 3 points, and then they kicked away. There's actually not too much to touch on this game. The Wiz genuinely, this is where he sort of gets to pull his head in a little bit more. I don't think he'll do it against the better sides, but he looked visibly pissed off a lot of the time. I think Buckley made a call of it. He's still arguing with the umpire downfield, and I think Vlossen ran up the ground. So, but he played well. His turn of foot goal was really good on Vlossen.
Oh, that was awesome.
He looks like he just walks so slow at stages. And then he just hums.
Yeah, goes.
He just absolutely turns it on. But I want to say, Jeb, we can officially say the 2013 Hawks have now accomplished having the greatest starting 6 forward line of all time.
Of all time.
As a collective starting 6, that 2013 starting grand final, Paul Puopolo was in a forward pocket. All right. Then you've got Silrioli. We all know, won a norm.
Probably the best. A lot of people say the best small forward of all time.
275 goals. Like, he retired early. Then you got Jack Gunston. He's kicked 500 goals now.
500, yes.
Luke Bruce has kicked 550 goals.
There's 1,050.
You got Jared Ruffhead, 578 goals.
There's 1,500, about 1,600.
And you got Lance Franklin that finished with 1,066, but his time at the Hawks, he kicked 580, Jeb.
There's another, so there's 2,000 goals. Popolo probably kicked 200. That is such a good forward. Was such a gun.
And when I talk about the best smalls of all time, like Cyril's there, you put Betts, you put Milne, and that's why I say I put Bruce in there. And I know people will be like, oh, what about like Matera? There's so many other names. I'm like, Luke Bruce in this forward line still has kicked 500 goals.
Yeah.
Of getting the forward. If you're kicking inside forward 50, who are you looking forward first? Franklin, then Ruffhead, then probably Bruce.
No, then Gunston, then Cyril when he's on his own or he's got a mismatch.
And then one of the midfielders coming through. You look for them, and then you got Bruce. Like, what a forward line.
Here's one for you. I'll hold you to this one. What do we got? Sunday, the 4th of May at 6:40 p.m., 14 minutes into the pod. Who kicks more career goals, Luke Bruce or Nick Watson?
Luke Bruce.
You don't think Nick Watson gets to 550?
500 is so many goals.
I agree. I can't see it, but he's going to play. He's going to play a lot of footy. Nick Watson, as a back pocket, as a wallet myself, if I ever played on Nick Watson, he would give me an absolute bath. The way you talk, say, walk slow, like lulls you to sleep, catches you ball watching, and then shoots out of a cannon like a rocket, he would give me a bath.
The one that he got the free kick when Nank got him, he sat about 25 metres off that stoppage with short on him, sprinted in, short was behind, pretty much pushed him in the back, and then Nank on top, you just see him, fucking weak dog. Like, he's just like, it'd be a nightmare to play on.
The Tigers came into play with a bit of feeling in the game. They came physical. I actually liked when Maurice Rioli got tackled holding the ball by Sicily. It was a good tackle. He just got him. And then he was getting into him. I liked him, Toronto, that he came over and just like, what are you fucking doing? But he gave away 50 in a goal, so it's never the right thing to do. But they're standing for something, the Tigers. I do like what I see. This was always going to happen. 65
Campbell,
points.
Steely Green, I like that they're getting in the fight. You have to stand for something.
You got to stand for something. You can't be getting done by 10 goals and be getting pushed around physically. Like, win the fight if you're not going to win the game. So I don't hate it. They've got to stand for something. They've got to be confident. They've got to have self-belief. Massimo's had 2 and 30. Like, that's a career day for Massimo. That's a big day. Josh Battle's had 30. Jack Ginnivan's had 2 and 23. 2 goals, 2 and 23. So he's back in the side. He's probably a bit fitter again as well, Das. They said he had a bit of a banged up ankle. He wasn't playing well. He's getting fit as the season goes on. So professional involved, and they're on an easy kill streak at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're West Coast last week. Who was it the week before? I can't remember, but they've got to. Oh, it was Geelong on Easter Monday. Yeah. Then they've been given West Coast. Then
also
Richmond.
We are starting a petition. We will get the votes up. The golden walking stick.
Yeah, the best old dog.
So for the best over 35 player, we're going to get a golden stick, walking stick. We're going to spray paint a gold. We're going to give it to him. It's all depending on votes. Steel Sidebottom, Pendlebury, Danger, Bruce, Gunston. Like Jeff, I meant to take Bruce out.
Gunston. Like Rampy today was really good. You're going to see Zorko tonight, who's a gun. Jeremy McGovern would be close to 35. He's still a gun.
The old dog, but they seem old. They're only 5 years older than us, Jeff.
I know. They look like they're like, I still feel like I'm 21 when I'm watching them. That's how old I would look out there.
Oh, yeah. Imagine the whiz turning you inside out, back to front.
He could do whatever he wanted to. He could play every trick in the book. Like Kyrie Irving, how deep his bag is. Like he can cross you, take you to the rim left, right. He can pull up, whatever. Wiz would go into his bag and get me each and every way.
You got the odds?
Yeah, I got some odds for you. You could have made some money in this game if you got the right pair. So for 3, Gunston was only $1.85. Watson was $2.90 for 2. Guinea was $1.85. Massimo was $13 for 2.
Wow.
Marbiol Chol was $1.35 for 2. Was I wrong? Probably. I said keep Marbiol Chol out of your multis. A lot of people probably would have taken the $1.35 for 2, so they win at the end of the day. He kicked that one, the Joe the Goose, the perfect goal at the end. 1, Josh Weddle was $3. Tom Brown was $3. There's some good odds. Disposals, Josh Battle was $23 for 30.
Great.
CJ, I reckon that's the first time in his career he's had 30 touches because you couldn't get him for 30. He was $9 for 25. Nice. And Massimo was 21 for 30. So 13 times 21 for Massimo's game, whatever the fuck that equals. That's
a Morgs multi. He's been screaming Massimo touches and halfback of goals. That's the Morgs multi.
And then Jarman Impey for 20 was $3.75. That was Morgs' favourite leg of the week for him for 15. He was $3.75 for 20. Ginnivan was $5 for 20. Finn McGuinness was $3.75 for 20. And young Lukey Trainer was $2.80 for 20. So some good money to be made there. That is the roast. I'm sorry, but we can't do it to Morgs. We're not watching the whole of Gold Coast Brisbane and then getting back on at 10 p.m. We got work tomorrow. Well, Morgs got work tomorrow, so we're not doing it. We're sorry. But are we giving Guess the Lines? Are we doing Guess the Lines? Let's do it. Welcome back to Guess the Lines. This week it is brought to you by Guzmani Gomez. GYG Dub. What is your favourite GYG order?
Ka-ching, GYG, getting on board, Jebby. Absolutely love a Cali burrito. I love the minced burrito bowl, but I've been smacking the quesos at the moment, Jeff. The quesadillas, I could almost argue, is the brekkie better than the main menu? The big brekkie burrito, Jeff, it feeds me every single goddamn Saturday. What about you?
I am a sucker for a chicken burrito bowl with a bit of extra chicken, but I also love their burrito. So and a $3 taco. Guzzy just has me wrapped around its finger. I love it so much. Like most people, it is that good. All right, so we're doing Guess the Lines this week. I haven't even looked at the slate. You've already guessed your lines, then gone back and seen how you've gone. We're going to give the listener a chance to compete with us. So you're going to ask me the line. I'm going to give it about a 3-second pause so they can guess their line.
Yep.
If you guys beat us and you DM us that you straight up beat us, we'll send you a $3 taco from Guzzy.
Hell yeah.
That's all we'll do.
It's going to be cold as.
So I've got no idea what next week's slate is. I've been too locked in on the Swans playing on a Sunday, so I don't look ahead.
All right, so Thursday night, Jev, we have Fremantle and Collingwood. This is at Fremantle. Where do you have the line? Who do you have being the favourite?
All right. All right, someone guess. The way I'm thinking, the other person can guess right now, but the way I'm thinking is There's no way Freo can be underdogs at home. They're too good at home and everyone knows it. But Collingwood, the price of Collingwood, if they're underdogs, they're going to get bet in as well. I'm going to say it's Freo minus 2.5.
You say Freo minus 2.5 against Collingwood.
Yes.
I had Collingwood minus 11.5.
Yeah.
It is Collingwood minus 10.5.
What the hell? So Freo are getting 10.5 points at home.
Yep.
So I'm buying that.
The Pies have been dominating.
I don't care. That's Freo at home. That's a good side. I'm buying Freo there.
I hate Freo right now.
Yeah, so do I. But watch fucking Sarong and Brayshaw have 35 and a goal each, and everyone will tell me how good they are again.
Yep.
All right. So you get that one. You're at 1-0.
1-0. Friday night, St Kilda and Carlton. MCG,
right.
Jev. MCG. And it's St Kilda's home game, which is awesome.
Carlton will be favourites on the G. I'll say 5.5 point favourites. Basically a goal.
I said Carlton minus 3.5. It's Carlton minus 7.5.
So I get that one. So 1-1. Sorry about that. Guzzi knocked on the door. So we had a few technical issues for a sec, but we're back on the burrito here. But so 1-1. I got the Carlton one. You got the Collingwood one. Next game.
Jev, Melbourne and the Hawks. So this is at the MCG Saturday, 1:20. Who do you have?
Give the listener a chance. First thing that came to mind were Hawks 5 goals. I'm going to say minus 29.5 points, Hawthorn.
I said Hawks minus 20.5. It's Hawks minus 23.5.
So you get that. You
I'll
get
take
that.
one.
That's nice. So they're saying 4 goals. I like the Hawks there.
Remember they got their ass kicked by them round 3 last year.
Yeah, Petrarca played really well. Clary played. Yeah, everyone played well. I do like the Hawks there though.
They want to get that one back. So 2-1. Next game, Jev, you'll be there. The annual ass kicking. What happens every year? There's Christmas, Easter, your local fete.
Your primary school fate. Josh Bootsma's birthday.
Yeah, happens every year.
And Swans beating the Bombers.
Yep.
It happens every year. So the line will be the Swans minus 10.5 because we beat them every year.
I wrote Swans minus 12.5 and it's Swans minus 9.5. You win.
So I get that one. 2-2. Yeah. I'll just take Swans head-to-head in multis. I think we beat them. It's a hard one to get points. Essendon will have a crack. They'll play well. So they are a bit banged up, though, and they're going to trot out Toddy Goldstein, who's nearly ready to be buried again. He needs a buried alive match against Kane for a breather soon.
Todd Goldstein looks like a microwaved Undertaker.
That's a good call.
He does. Next game, Gold Coast and Bulldogs. This is
It's
awesome.
the first one in Darwin, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Wow. I don't even care what the lines are. We are taking Gold Coast head-to-head. I'm going to say the Dogs are favourites by not much. I'm going to say 4.5 points.
I said the Dogs minus 6.5. It's pretty much pick 'em. Dogs plus 1.5.
Because they know it's in Darwin. So I get that one. So I'm up 3-2, I think.
I'm shattered. I thought
3 go. So what? Take Gold Coast head-to-head in Darwin, guys. Take Bailey Humphrey for goals. Take points as well. Remember, they kicked 160 points against the Cats, and the Cats kicked 100.
Over.
Take points.
Yep, take the over. We have a showdown, Jev. We have a showdown, which is awesome. Great round of footy. So Port and Adelaide, obviously, where do you have it?
I am going to say the Crows are the favourites. I think they're a little better. I'm going to say it's about 8.5 points.
Fuck. Adelaide minus 15.5. It's bang on 8.5.
Yeah, why'd you have 15? Port are still a good side.
Port stink.
They're fine.
Port are no good.
No, they're fine. They beat Hawthorn and Swans back-to-back weeks. They know how to win games. Their midfield's good. They know how to win. Yeah, 8.5 was, I just guessed it and I was bang on. So I'm up 4-2.
4-2. Next one, Richmond and West Coast. Here.
If this game was in my backyard, I wouldn't go. I'd close the curtains. I didn't catch any. No, we'll watch it. So this is Sunday early game. I'm going to say the Tigers are favourites. I'm going to say it's a little more than you think. I'm going to go 11.5.
I said Tigers minus 5.5. It's Tigers minus 9.5. So you fucking win again.
Get it? Yes. Let's go. I'm at 5-2. I can't lose.
I wrote these down and then I checked. I'm like, I'm home. I'm like, I'm a couple points off and you're just edging me in. And then cracker. This is such a good Sunday game. Sunday 3:20. This is the Channel 7 game, the Fox game, GMHBA, Cats, and GWS.
Oh, this is the Sunday night game.
That's Sunday Arvo.
That's fucking. I didn't know it was Sunday Arvo. This is usually a Saturday night, freezing colder. This is gonna be. I wish we were going on this game. So the Cats will be favourites, and they deserve to be. I'm gonna go 10.5 points. Geelong minus 10.5.
I said Geelong minus 12.5. It is Geelong minus 12.5.
Well done. So you got that bang on. So you 5-3. I got you.
You can't win.
Is there one more game or is there a bye?
Nah, the last one, North and Brisbane.
This must be a marvel. Fuck. Brisbane by 33.5.
We almost don't do the roast. We just cut this game out again. What'd you say? 33.5?
33.5.
I said Brisbane minus 46.5 after what they did to the Saints, and it's Brisbane minus 35.5. So you win clean 6-3.
Have you an ass whooping?
Good, Guzzi's on me.
Guzzi's on you. You beauty. Deliver it to me door. Knock, knock. Here they are. Let's get to the lines for another week. Thank you for listening to Sunday Roast. If you sat through the whole thing, we appreciate you. Thanks for all the support. We love you. Send it to a friend. Send it to someone that's never listened before. We are going to hit the 100K soon. Can't wait to review the 100K multi on Thursday, on Tuesday at Malta's house. Let's go.
Let's win some money.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.